Good day, NonSequitur viewers. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the dumpster fryer. It literally says, pause and smile. He must think this is a glorious pun. Poor bastard. This is part 1 of a 2-part video series where we will examine why it's important to remain skeptical in today's environment. Now, while it's overall a good thing, the decline in religion across the country has left us with an unsettling revelation. The vacuum left by religion is now occupied by things like pseudoscience, conspiracies, and flat-out bullshit. Please excuse my language. I searched for a more sophisticated term, but nothing quite rang as true as bullshit. But I'll qualify. Say you have a miracle mineral solution capable of curing any ailment, including autism? Bullshit. Well, I've got salt-flavored cabbage juice that can cure cancer, regrow those 2 stubs your weird high school shop teacher had, and it also cures the gay. No, Queen. Fabulously bullshit. Or, I've got the Earth. It's a disc, atop pillars, held up by elephants, riding on the back of a turtle. Flat out bullshit. Pseudoscience, anti-science, woo, snake oil, miracle solutions, jelly juice, urine therapy, vitamin B17, Tide Pods. All of this bullshit is finding individuals that are willing to buy into their junk science at an alarming rate. Why is that, you might ask? Well, that answer is quite simple, actually. Our society lacks scientific understanding or the ability to think critically. One should always seek truth in every situation. The best way to determine if something is true or not is to appeal to science and the scientific method. The proper way to evaluate a claim is to define your terms, conduct your experiments, practice parsimony, and to adopt a view of skepticism. While each of these steps is important, perhaps the most crucial is skepticism in order to protect oneself from believing unsubstantiated claims. Skeptics take a position of doubt, not denial. It does not arbitrarily deny every claim. It's merely the suspension of judgment until substantial evidence can be given. I have the pleasure of being joined by some of YouTube's atheist and skeptical community's best content creators. They specialize in providing content that focuses on this very thing and how to avoid being duped by bullshit. It is my hope that we all can exchange one BS for another BS. Go from bullshit to being skeptical.
Being skeptical is important, not just because it's a way for you to protect yourself from bullshit or from people trying to prey upon you for their own monetary or personal power gains. It's important because when you develop a very keen sense of skepticism about things and you develop the ability to put forth really good arguments and communicate clearly and concisely to others, then that means that your own protection that you built up to make sure that you do not get used and abused can then also be applied to people who are convinced by you. And hopefully that reaches the most vulnerable of us, the most gullible of us, and warns them away from danger. Because an uninformed person can make horrible decisions, and it can not just hurt them, but it can also hurt people who don't have any choice.
When we're faced with new information, we all have a choice. We can either accept it as it comes, or we can ask ourselves, what reason do I have to believe? I choose not to differentiate between the benign and the extraordinary in my discernment. The onus is on me. If I want to discover truth in an era where bias masquerades as information and opinions are packaged as facts, the responsibility is mine. Navigating a world like ours requires us to take on the task of discovery, to find the underlying claims and assess their sources, to determine how the information that is presented to us came about, and to compare it against the things that we can know. Being skeptical allows me to ensure that the information I use to guide my decisions is balanced and scrutinized. It also allows me to scrutinize myself, to be open to change, to be ready, willing, and able to accommodate the facts as they come. It's an extraordinary and freeing feeling to be able to admit when you're wrong, and an incredible feeling when you know that you are free from constraint, when you are trying to search for what is right.
There are times when it's good to assume the best intentions in people, to extend the benefits of the doubt. But there are also times to be on guard against abusive, misleading groups who seek to promote their agenda at the expense of everyone else. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, fervently believing that if necessary, I should be prepared to die rather than accept a blood transfusion. Some have estimated that tens of thousands of people have so far died from this teaching that was dreamt up by Watchtower leaders in 1945. There have also been heartbreaking stories of babies being left motherless due to witness women refusing blood when complications arise during childbirth. Watchtower publications even celebrate the stories of children who have been martyred in observance of this teaching. For as long as there are individuals and organisations that would seek to exploit others, there will never be a time when it's okay to stop being skeptical. When someone asks you to do something that could potentially be to your detriment, whether it's investing in some new scheme or signing up for some religious study course, please always take a step back and apply healthy skepticism and critical thinking. Don't make yourself the latest victim of reckless, manipulative people and groups who only care about furthering their agenda. Be smart and be skeptical.
In today's world of social media, fake news, sensationalism, clickbaiting, being skeptical of what you see at a glance is more important than ever. I shudder to think how many are led from the truth when a source they think is objective or unbiased is trying to push a narrative on the sly. You have an incredible amount of information at your fingertips, so don't let yourself be a victim and blindly trust everything you hear. Empower yourself.
What's up, heathen? I'm here today to tell you why it's a good idea to be skeptical. You want to be skeptical about shit because otherwise you might find yourself bent over and a priest about elbow deep in your asshole. Nah, but seriously, I think that it's a really great idea to be skeptical about things because then you're not so gullible about the world, and really to believe in a false reality and to act in a way that doesn't comport with reality can really lead you into some nasty situations where you'll find yourself in trouble or possibly in harm's way. That's why I personally love to be skeptical and promote skepticism in anything I do.
If you don't care if your beliefs are true to reality, then I guess it's not important to be skeptical. But if you do care, you're going to have quite the uphill battle if your default is to just believe the extraordinary things people tell you, since for every true thing that you might by chance accept that way, there are many more false ones floating around out there. There are a lot of people who want to make a fool out of you, and there's even more people who've been lax about their skepticism and managed to fool themselves. Don't let yourself become a fool. Unless you're into that, I don't mind. I still need people to debunk.